Greetings, flesh creatures. It is I, Megatron. On behalf of TFYLP, I want to congratulate you for listening to the most refined collective podcast on this miserable little planet Earth. Yes. Here you'll find knowledgeable fans discussing every aspect of Transformers and beyond. Now, enjoy the show while I continue my path to complete conquest of all of you miserable biological entities. Predacons, terrorize!
Hi, welcome to TFYLP episode, what are we at? 612? I was ready and then I wasn't. 612. We're live tonight. It is Thursday, February 6th. I'm Lucas. I'm joined tonight by Christian.
What up? It's just me.
And then potentially I think we have some other people joining too. So I'm trying to rally the troops. That's the reason why we were a little bit late starting, because we have a couple other folks that are...
The two of us were ready.
Yes, we were ready. The other people weren't. So... And, of course, I know last week we said, oh, we're going to have this wonderful show that is Thursday night once they do all the reveals. And because...
That is my fault. I don't know what days are. So I thought the reveal was Transformers Thursday. It's not. It's happening tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. So I'm sorry I got everyone excited. I was really excited. I woke up this morning and saw it wasn't happening. It was very sad. So...
Well...
Now
I mean, I thought that you just assumed that everything was going to be leaked by this point.
Nope, I thought the panel was today at 11. It's tomorrow at 11.
And that's the reason why.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So anyway, so then I was like, oh, well, let's just do the show tomorrow night after the thing, right? But then everyone's like, oh, we have lives and things to do. And so...
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So anyway,
so now we're here the night before.
Yeah, so we're here
wildly on what's going on tomorrow.
And then I don't know. We need to talk about when we're actually going to talk about what actually is revealed, right? So
I think it was Tuesday.
Anna, you're here.
It's Anna.
Woo! Hi, Anna.
I haven't seen you all year.
Oh wow, that's a comment.
I think that's right. I haven't seen it in a while.
Has it been all of January?
Yeah, I talk to you every day, but I haven't seen you in a while.
January's dead.
Yeah.
Long live
February. That's one of my least favorite months because I feel like everyone pronounces it wrong, right? Because it's February.
February.
Like, yeah, but we all call it February. We don't pronounce that first R. It's always made me mad. It's a bad month.
But isn't that the actual pronunciation? Even though I mean,
not a clue.
English is
no
weird.
Idea.
So
I'm just gonna say the Romans messed that one up.
From other humans, and never questioned it. Other than the fact the word makes you mad.
Fine. Apparently, Randall doesn't like the view of having our split three ways. So
well, then,
Randall, me
neither. I keep saying this, dude. Get your own podcast.
Hey.
He probably also doesn't like me being in this messy room, but
well,
you just
kind of have
the room.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had the background blur on, kind of.
It's helping. But I'm in a weird place because I'm in this half-packed room, so I can show you weird things you've never seen before, like my Pac-Man pillow. Vintage, you guys.
It's a pretty cool Pac-Man pillow.
82 Pac-Man pillow. Sleep.
Go sleep.
You can sleep with somebody older than me.
Yeah, so
I realized that had implications.
Randall is wondering what review we're gonna do.
I know. It hasn't been just the three of us in a long time.
The trains are in the other room. I've got that tiny Shia. We can review him. Review Shia.
When did you get? Is it Shia?
No, Shia.
When did you get a Human Alliance Bumblebee?
Hello, we're together.
Two different Human Alliance Bumblebees.
Well, one's from one of the vehicles, And the other one's from the Human Alliance Bumblebee. And the third one.
Why do you have so many Shia LaBeoufs?
It's also.
Did you go walking in the woods?
Wait, are you now a Shia character collector, Anna?
Yes.
You got to get that one from Indiana Jones.
I do. I have to go get Mutt.
Wow, that was his name.
What's his name? His name was Mutt.
Oh, I totally did not remember that.
This is a great place for me to do the podcast work because there's all sorts of weird stuff right here.
Fantastic.
Like three of them. Now, Megan Fox, which is less fun.
Hey, it's Megan Fox.
But,
So we have a viewer that they said that this is their first time on the live stream.
Oh,
But they
no,
normally
it's
listen on Spotify.
Wow. Welcome to the live stream. It's very exciting.
Showing me I the book collection.
Well, and I feel bad too because I am not always the best about putting the episodes up timely. So I did put up last week, I think, and hopefully I can do this week. That'll be my New Year's resolution to actually put up the show timely.
Our job tonight is to wildly guess about the Haslab that's going to be revealed in 12 hours.
Okay, I have a question first. Are they also revealing other things or just the Haslab?
I think it's just that.
I think it's just the Haslab.
I wasn't sure if they would actually
because they got a bunch of other stuff on display that's already been revealed. Yeah. So I'm assuming that they're like, look, we have stuff, and then Haslab.
Well, and the other stuff is gonna come out, show up in a month or something, right?
Yeah, I think the only bit of that we haven't ordered yet is the Commander Constructicons.
Yeah.
Well, any other Constructicons. We've only ordered 2 of them. There are 4 more to order. 3 more to order, technically. 3 more packages. I don't know. Who is that?
It's the little woman you sent me that one time.
Oh, good.
To camera.
To incomplete my Rodimus to complete your Rodimus?
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah, I'm glad. I did not want a tiny woman attached to my collection. It's a bad look for a guy,
Yeah.
So you don't have a
Not
Michaela?
anymore.
How many of those tiny figures do you have, Anna?
I
just want to see you just continually pull out.
Well,
now,
and what's really wacky? I made this decision to get rid of all these tiny woman figures and not have them in my collection before I started dating my current partner, who actually also loves Transformers, which was a complete random chance dream come true situation. I'm sure she would have been fine with it, but here we are.
Right. We need to find out what her thoughts are on tiny human figures.
I will ask. I will relay that to you.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, good.
What?
Yeah.
Just say, what if I had a collection of tiny Megan Foxes like Anna has a collection of tiny Shias?
So, Anna, I'm just curious, because you've had a lot of the Masterpiece figures, right? Now,
sure.
When you had those, and you've subsequently sold, a good chunk of them, did you make sure to, hold back all the tiny humans out of those packs?
I think you remember that time on the show where we were talking about MP45 Bumblebee and I ripped Spike in half on the show. Mm-hmm. I think I sold that with the Bumblebee when I sold it. I think I just included, I couldn't pretend he wasn't broken in half. He was just ripped, but I think he was in the package.
I forgot about that. I wasn't even on that show. I heard about it later. I had to go and watch it.
So, did you receive negative feedback on eBay where they're like, well, the figure, was not as described, there was, a ripped in half figure in there? And...
No, I sold it in person, all my sketchy sells.
Oh, okay, good. So, yeah.
Whenever I sell anything sketchy, it's in person.
Okay.
And it's when I go to the bathroom and you sell it at the table.
It's like that time I sold my KO MP Star Saber for $25 and people were going crazy. I was like, guys, this is busted. The screws are loose. Part of it's broken. They're like, oh, we want it so bad. I was like, take it, please.
I see
Thank
it.
you
They're
for my
getting pink fingers.
$25.
Everybody's been showing that dumb Godzilla thing lately, and I've got this like amazing Godzilla thing, right?
I love
can't really
that
see
you
it.
have the background blur so you can like barely see it.
Well, I'm holding it specifically where you can see it, so
It's very nice.
I
keep
do
it
nice
really
though.
appreciate that. I do like the like little scarf on it.
It's very
Yeah,
classy.
yeah. Our friend Pavbot gave me Christmas decoration things for toys to wear when I bought this, so he's been wearing the scarf since then.
Perfect. So is that something to where now you can just put your Transformers out for Christmas and your husband can't say anything because you're like, they're Christmas
They're
decorations.
decorated! Yeah, they got scarves and crap and hats.
Yeah.
And
Well, and you have the
beautiful.
Christmas Optimus, right? Like the Super 7 figure.
Yeah, I think I could actually reach my my Volvo Christmas Optimus. No, I can't reach him. He's somewhere in here.
I finally recovered that one this year, so he was back.
Good.
He went into the depths of my parents' Christmas stuff.
Hmm.
Because I might remember. Oh wow!
Oh,
I
there.
remember that I was moving over that Christmas he came out. Don't move
So
at Christmas.
yeah,
Don't do it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Just don't. Just don't.
actually.
Okay, so
That's
we
why
want
this room's
speculating
like
now.
this.
Okay, so while it's speculation, so Christian,
The
I was
human
reading.
scale wheelie.
What's that?
Human scale G1 wheelie.
Okay, sure.
A
Here's the
wild
question about
speculation.
that. So to follow up, Christian, would you buy it?
No. No, I would not.
You wouldn't buy a human scale G1 wheelie. Still, human scale G1 wheelie if that was the Haslab.
No, I would not do that there.
What
Wheelie's
about
my
the
game.
disappointments?
Want to play a game?
Would you buy 3 to make
No.
up for it?
I am lost.
We're
I
wildly
just walked in.
speculating.
All right.
We're wildly speculating.
I apologize. I'm late. I am trying to catch up. I was in the midst of pouring one out for the venerable Miss Virginia McCaskey, and we are all saddened by her passing today. You know.
Well,
All right, so
thanks,
Lucas,
Phil.
answer the question. Anna asked you if you would buy 3 human scale G1 wheelie Haslabs to make up for me and Phil not buying them.
Absolutely not.
Am I not fun? Because of you guys. Oh,
Hmm.
jeez.
All right, so as far as human scale things go, like I'd really like to have a movie 07 All-Star Cube. That feels like
Sure.
a Marvel Legends thing rather than a Haslab thing, though. I mean, they wouldn't release it as Marvel, but you know how they do the prop stuff, like the Mjolnir
Yeah,
and the
I mean,
helmet?
Black Series
It would
does
be
quite a
Right.
bit.
It would be that. I still want that. I've said that on the show a couple times. I would like to have that. I don't think that's what we're getting tomorrow, but like, I would like to have it.
Well, there was a Matrix of Leadership that was released, right?
A couple, I think. One was the Halloween costume, and I think that's coming back into stock, and the other one was Think Geek or Trendway or some Walmart exclusive weird thing. They're both the
Oh
Transformers
yeah, the
1
Walmart
version.
one. Was it by the same company that made the stupid ice cream sticks?
Maybe. I never saw those.
Sticks or something else. Oh, you didn't see the melts?
I've seen pictures of them. I've never seen them in person.
Yeah, I ran into him over the holidays, and it was like, why is this happening?
Yeah, they made
Did
that
you buy
and
the
that
RC
and the
one?
stickers.
No, I didn't because they're blind bagged.
Oh, okay. Is there no like cheat code online?
Hard. It was Black Friday. We were just wandering around Target or Walmart or something, and my husband was there, so he would have judged me for buying an ice cream stick person.
Let's see.
Appropriately, should judge me for that purchase. Many other
Oh.
purchase, no. That one, yes.
I guess
My
I'm just
girlfriend
like,
would have
where
bought
do
me
you,
a
why
whole
do you
set.
draw the line at that? There's so many other things where a line could be drawn. It's just, you know, that just feels like, you know, it's
I
par
would
for
have
the
had
course.
to have convinced her to not buy me every single one of them. She likes to spoil me, which is cool.
I would have had to explain to my kids that they're not actually ice cream, and please get your mouth off of it.
You've got young kids. Anna, what is your wildest speculation? So mine was, human scale G1 wheelie. What's your wild one? We'll do
My
realistic
wild
ones later. This is fun.
Okay. Well, my wild one is that in honor of my vintage Pac-Man pillow, what they're going to release is a bed set that's actually an Optimus truck. So it turns your bed truck.
Could we get it in different bed sizes?
Yes.
Oh, I'm absolutely.
It comes in different bed sizes. So it basically turns your bed into the truck, like the underside of the bed, like the frame, like that turns into the body of the truck. The front of your bed becomes the
Does it have
front of the
sheets
cab.
and pillows and stuff too, or are those the stretch goals?
Yeah. The sheets they're parts of the truck in a way.
Okay, I'm in. Yeah, 100%.
And if you
side
take
note-
off the sheets, you can see into the truck. Like the fitted sheet, like the blanket is the outside of the truck. The inside is like when you take it off the fitted sheet and the cover sheet are like the more layers of the truck. You see in.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
You
in.
see
I
the
would buy that.
interior. Oh, and under the interior, of course, the mattress pad that goes on top to make your bed softer is in a matrix pattern. Because it's inside Optimus. There you go. My Optimus Prime bedroom set. That's my wild speculation.
Yeah, I'd buy that. I would fund that easily.
And on a
Full
side
Optimus
note,
Prime.
have you seen the Secret Level cartoons?
I did see the Pac-Man.
Okay, yeah.
That was something.
You look hungry. Or no, you must be hungry.
It was like, we want to make a body horror Pac-Man thing. Sure. And I ate it up.
It was, and it's, oh, there we go.
Lucas and Phil, would you buy the Optimus Prime bed set?
Absolutely. Sure.
For one of my kids, yeah.
Both of your kids? Would you have to get two?
Right.
No, because Max is at the age where he'll like it for like another year or two, and then he'll like just turn this corner, and I don't want him to be, taking care of himself inside Optimus Prime, if you know what I'm saying.
I did not have that picture, but sure.
I mean, he's on the, he's in fifth grade.
Okay, so
I don't think we need to go there.
Yeah.
So
Anna, good job. You
oh,
won
geez.
so far. You beat me.
What's your wildest speculation, Fred? Phil, you can't talk anymore.
okay, so
Yeah, Phil, you're on timeout.
I have my speculation, right? I think it's going to be the GoBots Command Center, and that they're going to use that to kick off a new Studio Series GoBots.
Wow.
There you
So is the
go. Now
command
we
center
just-
like the size of the Ark and Nemesis, or is it bigger?
So it would be like roughly the size of Unicron.
Wow, that's big.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm in. I got
Okay.
that one.
Yeah, I'm in.
One for it.
I would do it, but I don't want it to have any additional like details or articulation in the original. I just want it to
No.
be the size of Unicron, like same
Right.
like quality stickers, all of that.
But it's Studio Series. It has to look like the cartoon. That's the rules of Studio Series.
But yeah, I think the toy one looked a lot like the cartoon.
No,
Okay.
it's not going to be stickers.
Okay.
Tampos.
Okay, there
Tampos.
you go.
At least upgrade to that.
Right.
It's high-end.
Okay.
High-end stuff.
Okay, yeah, I'm in. Good. That was a good one. Clearly, I'm the loser so far. Phil, I'm taking you out of timeout. I
All
will
right.
put you back in timeout.
I feel like mine is inspired somewhat by Anna's and Christian's idea, and that is a adult size motorized Trailbreaker Power Wheel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a 4-wheeler type
Like
deal?
like a
is that
go-kart.
what a
No,
go-kart
it's
Power Wheel is?
all the same proportions as a Power Wheel, just upscaled for adults and like electric bike kind of motor in it.
Pretty fast?
What do those things get? Like 30 miles an hour?
Okay.
Yeah.
I take it through the walking trails to get
Oh,
directly to
no.
work because I just have to go through the walking trails to get to campus.
What? Huh?
Sorry. Enots in the chat said that he was playing War for Cybertron on his Xbox 360 and while listening to this and just got the Red Ring of Death.
No.
Oh.
That's horrible.
I didn't know that was still a thing. I thought, because I have no idea with the 360s or whatever, because I remember they had, they all had it, right? And then you would send them in to get fixed, but do they red ring still?
It depends on if you get that same model. The later models didn't have that problem.
Oh, man, that's
once they started having Wi-Fi, I think they got rid of red ring. So if it's not later than that.
So you can't just soak it in rice and then it'll be okay?
Nope. There's a thing where you can soak with a damp towel and it might save it, but it's like a 10% chance.
Oof.
Oh,
That is definitely a rip in pieces.
That's horrible.
Sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
I would not fund the adult-sized Trailbreaker Power Wheels.
Why not?
I like the idea. I like what it comes from. I have no place to put that.
In your garage.
I don't have a garage.
In your parking spot at work when you get to work because you take it to work.
But then someone would just steal it, I think.
People you put the club on it. You get the club and there you go. Anti-theft.
Now what if it's a special Transformers Honda Civic, right? And it has the whatchamacallit, the little bike in the back of the Honda Civic. Do you know what I'm talking about?
So
you're talking about
Honda
skids.
City Turbo?
Like skids, yeah. Oh, was it the city? Was it
City?
Oh, was it the
Yeah, it's a city.
city? Okay. But obviously they can't release a city. But if they did a Civic, like a hatchback.
No, they did some sort of updated city that can be used on our streets.
Did
that
they?
has a little bike in it. I would be so tempted.
Yeah.
Right.
I really like really small cars. And
yeah, you and I are team hatchback.
Yeah, that would be so hard not to want.
Can we
It'd be
get
so
an actual
expensive,
skids
though, right?
or crosscut edition?
But if it had the little bike in there that you could use to go to class,
yeah,
and then it collapsed into a backpack or suitcase kind of thing, man, that'd be cool. Perfect, Anna.
I'd buy one of those.
Yeah, no, I'd take that. Yeah, I probably can't afford it. So
right.
Probably moved.
I think I'd have to buy the Reboost edition.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Of course, if you're a completionist like Nick, you got to get all three.
If they stop at 3.
Get and Screech, got to get all 5.
Well, and then one to keep sealed and.
Sure.
Right,
I don't know how you keep a car sealed, but yeah, good luck with that.
I don't know. Saran wrap?
Maybe. I'd probably do that. I'd get that more than a Camaro, I think. Because they're not manufactured those anymore. I like the Camaros, just less practical.
Did they ever do a Transformer Chevy Volt?
No.
Okay.
I did.
That's right.
You were at TFCon Charlotte in 2015, whatever year that was. You saw it. But no, that was never a thing.
Yeah, the Bumblebee Camaro has to be by far the most popular Transformers car, right?
I think that's the only one that exists.
That's the only official one that they did, right? But
I think unless there was something with the top kicks.
I mean, people have modded cars, right? Like
Sure,
Claire had a
sure,
Hound,
sure.
right?
Yep.
Like she had a Jeep that
Like
she
an
made into a
official,
Hound,
actual Transformers car. I
Yeah.
think it's just the B Camaros.
Yeah, I think that's the only one.
They never did a vet.
No, because that didn't exist.
Even for what's his name? Who's the green one?
Crosshairs? No.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
They didn't do some crazy limited edition drift Bugatti.
I could see that have happening. I don't think so. But that feels like that could have happened. I don't think it did.
And I'm not like in the tax bracket that would like be
Oh,
able
yeah,
to afford it.
exactly.
Like, and I wouldn't even like know it existed. They're just like, no, you know, we know your zip code. You don't get access to the websites that even tell you about those things.
Yeah.
How much do you think that would piss Nick off if they release like an official line of collector cars like Transformers?
I think it.
And be like,
I think it wouldn't count for his counting. He does.
Oh, okay.
He does discount some things.
Yeah, like I don't think he's ever really felt a desire to get the. Well, I shouldn't say felt a desire. I don't think he feels his collection is incomplete with the Bumblebee Camaro not in it.
Right.
True.
I think he draws the line at those like really, really expensive statues, like the Imaginarium ones.
Yeah, like the 4-foot tall shockwaves.
Yeah, like that stuff. I think if he were able to get those at a discount somehow and they fell into his hands, he would do it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't think it's something that he chases.
Yeah. I'm honestly surprised Rick doesn't have a Bumblebee Camaro.
Yeah, good point.
So I think he has like a bumper or something, doesn't he, from one of the cars? I can't remember, but
No idea.
yeah. So anyway, so
Yeah,
the
that would be cool.
actual speculation, I know Talib said earlier that, I think we're assuming it's all either going to be Metroplex or Lio Kaiser or Road Caesar. I guess it's kind of like the top three.
So here's why. I'm just going to share why I would be disappointed if it was either or Road Caesar. And that's because the Dino King set the size of the combiners. Right? Like,
What about the Dino King set?
the Dino King set suggests that the combiners should be core class, right?
I think Dino King is smaller than Lio Kaiser.
Yeah.
Like a lot
Isn't he?
smaller though? I'm not sure. I haven't looked at a scale chart comparing
I
them.
thought, like, yeah, I was going to say, I haven't looked
Get out
at that,
Victory
but
scale chart.
I thought Lio Kaiser was the same size as the other combiners, isn't he?
I'm
Yes.
sure it changed in scale
Ish.
throughout the shows.
He's the
throughout
same
episodes.
size as Star Saber.
I mean,
Victory
if
Saber.
you look at the toys, Dino King is considerably smaller than Lio Kaiser. So, in that regard, it wouldn't be impossible for that to be a thing.
I think it would be weird if just all the Haslabs are Victory.
Me too.
I know it's not all because Unicron and Omega Prime are not, but like 3 out of 5, that's weird.
I think it'd be weird and kind of bad. Like just kind of like they originally did this whole Haslab thing. It was like, oh, we're gonna go across all of Transformers to make your wildest dreams come true. And then they're like, but we're gonna spend years on just Victory, right? It's like that is all of one collector's wildest dreams who really loves Victory.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Victory, but like
I
there's
do
other stuff to look at.
Well,
for them to go on adventures and do other things.
I guess I sort of look at with the new Titan size class, like the new way they're interpreting the Titan size class. We're probably going to get a lot of those toys in that scale. So Road Caesar would be in that. To me,
Sounds great.
Metroplex and Lio Kaiser would be ones I would not want to see in that size class. So it's almost more of I would like them to be Haslab scale than Titan, the new Titan scale.
I want to take those separately because I think Lio Kaiser you just release as standard figures like they're doing, the Constructicons or the Aerial Bots. Like, that's fine. Make them all Voyagers, and now they're $250 or however much it'd be. Let's see. What is it? 35 times 6?
Well,
$210.
one question I have with Glycazer, right, is the last one in Combiner Wars that got released was a retool of Combiner Wars figures, right? And so the question is could they still do that similar thing for Glycazer, or do you truly want it to be something that's unique? And so then there wouldn't be the opportunity to reuse those molds.
I mean, it's not like they reuse the Constructicons, unless they do.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
but
going
the
to do
Decepticons
repaints.
sell crazy numbers, though.
Yeah,
And again,
I mean,
you
they
can do
could-
the G2 repaints.
I guess that's what it's going to come down to. I want to talk about Metroplex for a second, because Metroplex definitely shouldn't be at the new Titan scale, for sure. But it could be a Haslab. I'd fund that. That would be fine if it were, G1.
A new Metroplex?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, it just depends, right? Like if it was a new Metroplex, but it was as much better as the Devastator we're currently getting as is the Combiner Wars one, which I actually like the Combiner Wars one a little bit more in combined mode from pictures at least. I wouldn't get that. But if it was actually like what we've been hoping it would be, and it's like a bigger, better Metroplex that's more accurate and more fun, then sure, I'd get into that.
I have heard a rumor. It's from the same leaker that leaked that Triptychon was coming in a new paint scheme, and a couple other things that have turned out to be true and not true, so we'll see. But I heard something that Metroplex is getting a rerun, like all the other Titans. And it'll just be in the right colors and maybe have a little bit of retooling. I don't know why they would save that one for last, since it's the most popular one, but hey, I don't make the rules. Is that true? I don't know. But if it is, it sort of discounts that tomorrow is Metroplex.
So
I looked, and just to finish this thread, I looked, and according to the skill chart, Dino King is just a little teeny bit shorter than Lyle Kaiser, but the individual guides are the same size.
Oh.
So that would mean that's why I've been against Lyle Kaiser the whole time, because I don't want Lyle Kaiser to be released as core figures.
Then I think we really need to be against Dino King. Dino King needs to be bigger.
Well, yeah, Dino King should have been bigger, but it got to happen. I think is
right.
I've been saying like that won't be remade as Monstructor, because I think Monstructor could be a bigger, more expensive set, and they would expect it to sell. Where Dino King is this weird Japanese thing no one knows about. So,
well, that's why he was a Pulse exclusive.
That's why it was a Pulse exclusive and a repaint of something more palatable for the general population.
Strange.
So let me back this up a little bit. What do you think the Haslab will cost? Because to me, the cost will help, like, kind of determine more likelihood of which toy we're going to get. You think 300, Christian?
Yep.
I mean, I could see 250.
Sure.
They've been running the Joe stuff at about almost 300, so I could see 300 being a good, like, aiming.
We've been hanging out at that 150 level for a while.
Yeah. The Giant Man for Marvel Legends was about 200.
I think after tax, Omega Prime is 200. It's been a year, so I can't quite recall, but I think it was that.
And that's why I just kind of think, like, even if we got a Haslab Metroplex, let's say it was 300. Like, let me just take Desaris here as an example. So what was Desaris again? Please remind me. I literally
180, I think.
180.
180. Okay. So let's just say we doubled it in size.
That's not enough.
Yeah. Is that a big enough Metroplex then?
I think if it's going to be Metroplex and he's going to be the right size, that's 400 or 500. I don't think they'll hit 600 again, because Unicron was difficult to get across the finish line at that price. But I think they would do 5 or 4.
And I don't know if the market has an appetite for that level of toy these days.
Yeah, that's the only place it could go. But I think you have a very valid point there.
Do you all have an appetite for that level of toy? $600, really big Metroplex.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'd
be
have a
less
tough
than thrilled
time.
about it. If it were
Yeah.
4, I'd be in. If it were 5,
Right.
I'd be reticent. But in 6, I would not like it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I feel
already
like
have a.
400.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Lucas.
Yeah, I was probably gonna say the same thing is that 400 I'd probably be in. Like I already have a Metroplex, so that I enjoy. Unicron was like its own thing to where it's like, okay, I'm willing to spend the money on this like crazy, you know, like huge
It feels like a
thing to like,
one-time deal.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I don't think that I am like looking to do that, you know, even
A lot.
once every few years. Like I feel like a lot more comfortable around that, you know, $300 price range.
So if that's the case, then a Titan Metroplex probably won't be satisfying if we get it at that scale. So then that maybe brings it back to this idea of a Lyle Kaiser, a Road Caesar, or if I'll put out there, Rail Racer.
Well, let's say they do a Lyle Kaiser. Okay, just going with that one. Let's say they do a Lyle Kaiser, and it's okay. But in what situation would you not buy the Lyle Kaiser? So let's say the Lyle Kaiser is it's a Haslab, but they make it to scale with the Dino King, so it's core size, but it's like nice complexity. So it's like it's four figures again, but they're like complexity, not quite like to a Legends figure, but like maybe they're closer to a deluxe figure each. But they're cool.
Well, we also
Cool
already
idea,
have a
for sure.
Legends Lyle Kaiser that's third party. I mean, I realize it's not the same thing, but
Yeah, and that one is actually kind of in scale with the Death Source and the Dino King.
Right.
Yeah, core, I would absolutely be out. I have no appetite for that.
Right.
Okay. But you
The
have
only
a
saving-
minor,
wouldn't be
right? You have
Haslab,
Dino
though.
King.
Sure. But that was, standard pricing.
That's okay. So even if they were nice, even if they were deluxe or they were deluxe complexity, nice paint jobs.
That would convince me to get it even less.
Okay.
I don't like the teeny tiny intricate things. That's why I don't do third-party Legends. I don't like how it works. I got big hams that don't work with that sort of thing. They feel very breakable. So no.
Lucas. Core class.
No, I don't.
Yes or no? You just made a noise. You kind of barked.
What was the bark?
I'm not a fan of
No?
the core class stuff now.
Okay. Phil.
I would say no, and I'm more to what Christian said earlier that we should engage Dino King as the basis for this. And if anything, Dino King is the wrong size compared to the other Victory Destrons.
Okay, step 2. Then instead of that, all deluxe size. All 6 of them are deluxe size.
That's fine.
They come with whatever parts they need, complexity they need. Like some of them are more jar and Leo Zach are more like they're more complex, kind of like the Studio Series Hot Rod, where they're kind of like, they're Voyagers, but they're deluxe size so that they can form the torso real good. And the other guys are pretty nice, right? They all look really good. But it's 3 hundos. Christian's in 3 hundos, 6 deluxes, 2 of them more complicated. Accessories are there.
Yeah, you're talking $50 a figure, which for an exclusive level thing is a little steep, but not out of my I'm not going to throw a fit over it and say no.
Yeah, I think it's just like how nice the finishing is and all that. I think that's just where you have to kind of see on it.
So you'd be on the fence, Lucas. You wouldn't just jump right in for 300 for a
I mean, I don't
set.
know. I'm sure I probably would, just based on the other Haslabs that have happened that I've enjoyed. So
I mean, I think this doesn't need to be said, but I feel like it does need to be said. Like, if it looks bad, then we're not going to back it. But I mean, we're assuming based upon the recent Haslabs that it's going to look nice. So yeah, I mean, if it's got that upscale quality and it's deluxe size for 300, yeah, I'd do it.
All right. Okay. So those are our Lio. Do we want to throw out another Lio Kaiser possibility? I feel like those are really the only two possibilities there would be.
I think Lio Kaiser is sort of uniquely positioned for tiers. Because because Death Cobra. Yeah, I think the first tier would be a stand because all the first tiers are stands, whatever, or they're guns or whatever. And I think the second tier is the stick spear thing that Lio Kaiser uses plus the spears for the smaller dudes. And the third one's Death Cobra. So you end up getting 7 figures and a bunch of accessories for 300. And I think that's a much better deal. That's how you sell it.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, I think you use Death Cobra as the final unlock, and there he is.
And I just feel too like Lio Kaiser has been short shrifted so much since the original toy. And I feel a lot of what they're doing with some of these Haslabs is to kind of give these characters, okay, here's your full thing. Here's not a half-assed, retool, all unique molds to this. We're not going to run it again, sort of thing. And there you go.
Yeah, I guess if you think about it, we are paying for a lack of retools down the line because they can recoup a lot of that tooling cost. Yeah. And with these, they do not. So that's probably why they're a little bit more expensive.
I mean, when I think about that, one character who has not come up that I could see based upon that would be Piranacon.
I was going to say there's a bit of recency on that, but that's 6 years.
Yeah, and I mean it was a Gen Selects. Its parts are some really hard to find. Granted, there's obvious repaints that you would be able to do of it, but in terms of like, hey, we haven't seen these characters with their own 100% fully dedicated molds. Haven't seen that since the original G1 figures.
I think those would be more palatable at general retail, just because that combiner did come out in the States. And I think that's what they're worried about with characters like Star Saber and Lio Kaiser, that they don't have the recognition where the core audience is.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that, but Piranacon to me is also on that edge of...
On the edge, you're right.
Yeah,
he's the last one.
Well, he never got an appearance in the cartoon. Yes, he was a G1 toy that got Marvel comic appearances and whatnot, but this is not. And again, he didn't get a mainline release for Power of the Primes or Titan or Combiner Wars. So I mean, I think to me that says a good amount of what the feasibility of a Piranacon coming into mainline retail is, because he has not had one.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it is just odd. I mean, if we're going with Lio Kaiser, it's just odd that they keep going back to this well. Like Anna said, there's a lot of Transformers to see. Why are we funding all of Victory this way? Do people really not care about Victory, or?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe with their market research or whatever, that's where they figured that, like, because I don't know, some of those Japanese characters, I'm not sure if they're pitching it to the American retailers. They're going to be like, why? Like, no, I want Bumblebee and Optimus and whatever. They don't.
That's a good point.
Like, care about
if it doesn't
that.
have a spot at retail and they have a design they believe in,
right?
Where does it go?
Yeah, and I
either
think that
produce
might be,
new molds for a Pulse exclusive, or they do this.
that might be like a little thread we miss when we think about like the market research, when they're actually like doing their research and they're pitching ideas. They might not be looking for the most popular one. They might be looking for the one that sounds wanted but niche, right? They might be looking for the one where it's like not everyone says they definitely buy it, not everyone's super excited, but enough people are really excited that the designers who probably have already come up with something can make their toy, but they can do it as a Haslab and get it out. Whereas the ones that might get the most excitement, they might be like, okay, we got to work that into retail.
That's a really good point. Wow, that was said very well.
That's that profound.
It was kind of profound.
I think that leads credence to the idea of a rail racer as well. You know, because Rail Racer is a character that, yes, wasn't a cartoon. One of kind of maybe the least referenced cartoons, or not a cartoon that go back to lawn, and the probably most popular character from that cartoon, the Optimus Prime from that cartoon, they had to do as a Haslab.
Right.
So even the Optimus Prime, the one that you would think retailers would be most on board for putting on their shelves, they did as a Haslab.
I think they could have gotten Optimus. I don't think they could have gotten Magnus.
And that's fair.
That's
Maybe that's,
I have no,
that is. You're right.
No basis on that.
I mean, Ultra Magnus is a G1 character, was in the movie, sure. You know, it got plenty of representation sort of thing. So, I mean,
generally, yes, that one.
Yeah, I don't know if you like consider him in the Transformers spectrum of characters, a B or C level character, you know, from the general populace standpoint, not from the hardcore fan base standpoint. But Rail Racer, and again, Rail Racer would tie in with the idea that they just did Omega Prime. They've hinted that they're going to do the Car Brothers. You know, so we've got a little bit of an RID thing going on right now.
I would like to return to Anna's point about the niche but popular, but not quite popular enough, but good design. That makes me think about a different philosophy they must have for the other Haslab, the non-Transformers ones. Because, you know, you think about Star Wars and all the, you know, Glup Shido memes, but what's been funding over there is very popular ships.
Yeah.
Like the Ghost, or, you know, the Razor Crest, or the Jabba sail barge. Like, those are big things. Those aren't niche items. Those are, you know, everyone at Star Wars like this, or at least they recognize it. I mean, the Ghost arguably, I guess, would be the most niche, but even that's pretty popular these days.
And it didn't hit all its tiers.
It did not?
No.
Oh, cool.
I mean, it funded, but it didn't hit all the tiers. They ended up making the tiers, the tier, but you had like buy those separately.
Huh. All right.
Huh. Yeah, because the niche thing didn't start happening until the second Transformers Haslab. Because Star Saber is pretty niche. But like, you know, the Ghostbuster stuff has all been pretty much like, you know, the coolest Ghostbuster stuff. And the I know, Christian, you don't like to hear about it, but the G.I. Joe stuff has been really high-end, popular G.I. Joe vehicles, right? Like, it has been like fancy G.I. Joe vehicles, like made really well. So it's just like the highest end stuff, not precisely niche stuff. But for Transformers, the last three have been pretty niche. Yeah, the hardcore fans have always thought that, you know, Superfire Convoy was like a big step in the right direction for the toy line and a really fancy toy. But as far as, you know, did Car Robots or RID really stick around in the zeitgeist of Transformers that well? Not very well. Didn't really stick. It just kind of helped move us back to vehicles, and that's about it.
I guess what does that say about our hardcore fans versus hardcore fans for other brands? Are we just more accepting? Like, do the hardcore fans over at Star Wars really just like that one particular character and don't care about anything else? That can't be true.
I mean, we can at least be propped up by Asia as well, whereas the other ones, like, it's not as like Star Wars.
That's a good point too.
In Asia, I do have a question because, like, I saw a thing about whatchamacallit, Pulse, that I think they're shutting down Pulse in Asia. Is that right? And so
Yeah.
I was curious about that. Like, how is that going to work with the Haslab? Like, are they just going to go through retailers similar to how they do it in, like, I don't know, was it Great Britain or Europe or something like that? Like, I think it's
They did
like
it
Great
that way.
Britain.
Because Pulse is operating in Europe now, they'll do it that way. But in Japan, they did use retailers. Or
Yeah,
Australia, they use retailers.
Australia. Okay, yeah. So they must be doing that.
Yeah.
With, like, China or whatever.
And that's where you sort of get like the rumor mill and talk when HasLabs are going on. Like all of a sudden you'll pull open the HasLab tracker and it's like, 30% higher towards goal from one day to the next, and it's like, oh, the Asian orders must have come in.
Right.
Because the sentiment is like that's through a retailer versus
Right,
one
doing a
or
big
two
order
buyers
dump.
at a time kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, it is interesting, Anna, when you talk about all the different HasLabs and what's been because like the Ghost Rider one that didn't fund for Marvel Legends, that is a little more niche. That's a more recent Ghost Rider character. It's not one that old school fans are going to be familiar with.
I like Robbie. I just didn't feel the need to buy that.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I backed it right away. I was very disappointed. I think it made, but and I think they're back to like I don't even know if Robbie's in the comics anymore. But the idea being that even with some of the more niche stuff they're doing for Marvel Legends, they're not doing it through HasLab. They're doing it through the made to order Marvel Legends. Like the Dragon Man was made to order. So similar to HasLab, but they don't have a preset number that they have to hit. So it's
I'm
more
still waiting for that to hit us.
Super 7 model versus the Kickstarter model.
I'm still waiting for that to hit us because I think that would do really well for like a G2 Motormaster. Like, yeah, we're going to make this, but like it's having a hard time finding a home with a retailer, but put it on polls and we'll make however many and yay.
I'm kind of surprised they don't do that like with just like repaints. Like I could totally see Transformers where they could just do 1,000 repaints and do it made to order.
Because the mold cost is done, right? Great.
Right,
so run it again, recoup however much money based on however many units, and that's it.
Maybe they just don't need to because they have so many retail partners that want Transformer stuff.
Maybe.
Who's kind of doing that? Make Toys Colorverse.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he runs
that's true. I mean, so that Dragon Man, what was the cost on it, Phil? 75 or something?
Well, it was like 100, maybe less than 100, maybe 90. Now the Sentinel, the X-Men animated Sentinel, that is like $200. I didn't back that.
Yeah, I think you could go to Target and you see that thing on clearance, Dragon Man. It starts out at 90 and they run a deal on it and you can get it for 70, coupon get it to 50. Yeah, I think that's just not a good look for an item like that.
No.
So yeah, I think that MTO model makes a lot of sense for stuff like that. And I think for us, it would end up being repaints. The tooling cost on Transformers is so much higher than the other action figures because they have to convert. That's what they do.
Yeah. And with Transformers, do we have that in the form of the Commander price point?
What do you mean? Could you elaborate?
So you can do a Magmatron in the Commander price point, whereas a character like that for Marvel Legends, you kind of have to do is made to order.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I see what you're saying now.
Because we do have the Commander price point. It does exist.
Well, that and look at the shelf space that Marvel Legends gets these days versus Transformers.
Right.
Transformers is a significantly larger chunk of real estate, like 10 times the amount of real estate that Marvel Legends gets at retail in the toy aisle.
Could it be that, no matter at what level, Transformers is still a toy, and Marvel Legends is like I'm holding a man? Like you can play with a Transformer in a more involved way than you can play with just a standard action figure. Does that have a certain level of appeal to customers that just a normal action figure doesn't?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like the toy all
Yeah.
just kind of ebbs and flows. Like
It
there's times
does.
where Transformers is smaller, and I mean, not that Legends. I don't think Marvel Legends have ever been bigger than the Transformers, but part of that's because Transformers has more like different things going. Like Transformers always has multiple lines at one time.
And Marvel does as well. Just the Marvel Legends component of it, I feel, is pretty small these days. Like it's just like 2 pegs when I go to Target, and most of the time they're barely full.
That is interesting.
They've been going for a long time though. I feel like they've
Yeah,
made almost everything they could.
Oh, just made a ROM. They haven't done a ROM yet, and they released them yesterday. Or put them up. Actually, no. Was it yesterday or today? It was today.
Today.
My brain is broken right now.
I want to steer us back. So let's continue going with our hypothetical that this is going to be Lyle Kaiser. We're going to see him in 12 hours and everyone's going to freak out. Does it fund? At $300 theoretically, does it fund?
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay,
As
cool.
long as it's
I think so
nice.
too.
Especially if your
honestly,
theory is true with the 7th toy being a stretch goal.
I think that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Will they do it? I don't know. Like at the end of the campaign, they made Blue Bolts actually transform. That's a thing. At the end of the campaign, we got extra Micromasters, and then Micromasters were a stretch goal before that. So like, extra figures are not unusual for our campaigns. That would be an entirely different tooling, which the second Micromasters and Blue Bolts are. So I don't know. I would like it though.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I feel like that anything Transformers like under $300 is gonna fund it. Doesn't matter what it is.
I don't know why I feel this way, but I think that's the break point for us.
Yeah.
I can't articulate a reason I think that. I think you end up with retail combiners somewhere around 180 to 250. The Titans were 200, and now they're 150 and smaller. The other Titans are still 200. So like, I feel like something nice gets $100 or more. I don't know. It's a feeling. I've been in it long enough that I have feelings.
If you look even at like third party, right? There's not much third party that's over $300.
Combiners.
Yeah.
Well, but they get released as individual figures, right? And so I feel like a lot of people are like, it's $100 at a time, or whatever, 150, 200, whatever it may be. So I think a lot of people just think about it in those terms.
That Baldigus I just agreed to get with myself. Oh, the price point when you put that all together has me very intimidated. I just think like, oh my goodness, this is going to be so expensive when I put it together.
Thank you for helping me.
But I think all of your other options are also equally expensive for Baldigus.
You get original Baldigus for cheaper than that.
Yeah. But if you want the not Combiner Warriors, Unite Warriors Baldigus, it's $500, right?
Yeah.
But I think
am dealing
also,
with it.
Lucas, to your point, I don't think there's that many third-party toys that are over 200, let alone get into the 300 level.
Right.
There's definitely some, but they're fewer and far between. And I think you have to start going into that combiner size class to get something of like that.
Now that we're kind of talking more about price, I have I'm thinking more like 250 for a Kaiser rather than 300. I mean, at that level, it's sort of whatever, but I kind of feel like, oh, 250 or 249.99. There's your get in. I don't know.
It doesn't matter what the price is going to be. You're going to have some knucklehead that'll be like, if this was $248.99, I'd back it, but at $249.99, no, thank you. Hasbro's lost their mind in this economy. $249.99.
Say that every time. And then when it comes up, they're like, "Oh, does anyone have an extra?" No. Yeah.
My son really wants it for his birthday.
Too bad.
Yeah. Sure, your son, if he's your son, he's already acquainted with disappointment.
I know it sounds like we're being heartless, but like, golly, we've seen this 4 times now. 4 times. 4 times.
I mean, there's memes that make the jokes. I mean, we're not the only people that see that.
No.
Yeah.
But again, I think if you have an inkling that you want this, whatever this is, do back it. Make it happen before it stops funding.
Well, that's kind of why I backed the last Haslab. Like, I was like, man, if I decide I really want it, it's going to be more difficult to get it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they haven't been going crazy in price the last few years. They haven't been, wildly exploding in price, but they do go up a little bit. And they're not hard to sell. They're not. It's not difficult to get rid of it if you grab one and you change your mind.
And I understand it is coming from a place of privilege to say, we'll just fund it, and if you don't like it, you can sell it later. I mean, that's a couple $100 that you won't get back for a year plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
So yeah, that's easier said than done for a lot of folks. But
certainly,
I think the nice thing, like Anna, you were just saying with Haslabs, you'll be able to sell it, and if you put it up on eBay, you'll be able to break even after eBay fees and shipping, the way those things usually sell for.
Yep. Do we have any other popular ones that we want to talk about? That other less wild speculations.
So a while ago, I can't remember what the wording was, but some person somewhere mentioned that the Haslab reveal was going to be like an Omega level excitement or something,
or Supreme level. Yeah,
was it Supreme level? That was Omega level. I don't know. It was something implied Omega Supreme, and everybody was like, "It's going to be Omega Supreme's uncle or something." And I mean, I guess animated Omega Supreme's the only thing any of us would even guess that would possibly be.
Yeah.
Energon Omega Supreme.
I grabbed that out of a bin last weekend, 2 weekends ago. I was like, man, it would be really nice if this were redone. But I think I'm the only one who thinks that.
I mean, I think it would be cool if it was redone, but it's not something I particularly want. Personally.
I guess to me, when I say I want it redone, like, I like the robot mode. And when I say I want it redone, like, I want totally new transformation in all modes.
I think start with the Optimus. Show me that you can make that Optimus in a modern thing, and I really believe they could. And it would be incredible. Make that a Titan class at the new price point. I'd buy that. Trailer, drones, leader class dude. Fantastic.
Well, and that's something that kind of makes me stop and think about the new Titan class. Like, we keep talking about, they're going to do all these obscure Japanese guys in Titan class, but it's like, are they though? Because the first Titan class we're getting is Star Convoy. What's that?
The Opto class. Every Optimus.
They're all Optimuses.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Star Convoy, and guess what? Oh, Energon Optimus. You're right. Good idea. We like it. Let's do that.
But I mean, the Titan class toys have all been
Power Master Optimus.
Like, there's been some of the Gen Selects Titan classes that have been deep cuts, but for the most part, the Titan class figures have been like pillars of the Transformers fandom.
Yeah.
Except for that Metroplex.
Yeah, except for Metroplex.
Like I said,
Metroplex
for the most part.
Zaldar mentioned Grandis and Sky Gary.
I think those go in the Titan class for sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
That'd
you'd
be a
be
great
into those for
Haslab.
Haslab.
Yeah, I'd be all
Oh.
over those for Haslab. Sure. Like, they're almost too obscure though. Like, I'd be a little worried about them.
Are they a 2-pack or are they 2 different projects?
I don't know. He just said, could
Okay.
it be Grandis and
Two-pack,
Sky
because
Gary?
we
but
can push this.
No.
I get a two-pack and get it over with.
I mean, if you think about it, all right, let's. So I apologize. I'm going off that. I'm going back to the idea of Rail Racer.
I like Rail Racer.
We're getting
Really want
Omega Prime. All right, so we're getting Godfire Convoy.
Yep.
We're been rumored that we're going to get the Carr Brothers.
We already got one.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm like, didn't we get one? Yes, we did. We're rumored to get the other 2. It seems very
We got
likely.
Tow Line.
We have a new Combiner Bruticus coming out, meaning we can get
Ruination.
Gas.
Ruination, not Abomination. Ruination. So we can get a Ruination from that. If you did a Gigatron like Magmatron in the Commander class, that would be freaking great. Or he could be Titan scale, just to fit in all the engineering you need to do all his modes. And then Rail Racer fits in well with that. Then you've got, you do new versions of the Beast Wars, Deceptic, Predacons, whatever.
Yep, Skybite's coming later this year. So
Skybite too. So like you're going to cover the vast majority of the toys from that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Gigatron has also been rumored for a Haslab, just so it would go with, Omega Prime.
Yeah, I think if they did a second Car Robots, it would be him. That's what I think. If they did a second Car Robots, they would just follow what they did with Victory, and they would just be like, and here's the hero and the villain, and now we're moving to the next thing.
I kind of think they could get Rail Racer out as a 150 Titan. That's 3 $50 figures, essentially.
Yeah.
Did you say a 150 tidy?
Titan.
Titan.
Oh, okay, I thought you said a 150 tidy, which I was just gonna have to say your slate has gone too far.
Titan.
Okay,
We'll
Titan.
sell it as a 1 unit as opposed to 3, leader classes, or do that. But I think 1 unit is better. Tool them up all together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd definitely be all in for that. But I think a lot of people wouldn't really know what that was. I don't know what would happen. I don't know how well that would sell.
Here's my problem if they did Gigatron as a Haslab, is that originally Gigatron only had 6 modes, and then when he became Galvatron or whatever, then he got the additional 5. So how would that work with a Haslab that would likely be the black Gigatron, Megatron colors? Would you still get all 10 modes?
I think,
and then
yes.
some of the modes wouldn't look right because they're not the right colors because they're supposed to be white when he's the Mastodon.
Luckily, there wasn't any retooling to get those additional modes.
I hear you. Yeah.
He just kept building it in weird ways, and that's how they got him. I think there was 1 bit of retooling on the bat face, maybe. Like, if I want to be really accurate.
That. Yeah.
It's like some minor thing that didn't make the modes. So,
yeah.
But like with the Omega Prime, if we're still going under the assumption that Haslabs don't get repaints, I would miss getting that Galvatron. Because it's white and whatever, but that's a unique color scheme for a character like that. And it's really striking to see it in person. Just like I miss, I'm not going to get Blackfire Convoy or Splendid Yellow Convoy from the Optimus. It's just not going to happen.
Was that Galvatron from RID Megatron the first time they did that at repaint they did that at retail where they just slapped a repainted color onto Megatron and said, hey, This is Galvatron now? Okay.
Yeah.
It is interesting. Like we were just talking a few minutes ago about how RID Car Robots isn't held in the deepest regard for Transformers fandom, but yet this is where we get Scourge kind of
The
Nemesis
Scourge
Prime
Nemesis
from.
Prime stuff. Yep.
Right.
And this is where we get, the Megatron, Galvatron repaints that became ubiquitous. So there were definitely things that came from that are.
Oh, it's just because it was a Japanese series.
Yeah.
And it was quickly imported here as a stopgap once Transtech was canceled. So, like, they were working on Armada and needed to not have a blank year. But Robots in Disguise also led to the first Universe line, which was a celebration of everything. Every line that had ever existed had molds in that.
Yeah.
And that sort of led to the multiversal thing and Unicron stuff. Anyway, yes.
Haslab Universe Bruticus. Give it to me.
Yeah. You're talking about the three-headed dog, right?
Yeah, the three-headed dog.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
That's the first colorway that Aaron Archer did on Transformers.
There you go.
Color layout. Yeah. Fun fact. Yeah, so you're right. It in itself didn't stick around. I mean, we get a couple characters from it, like Scourge. I think that's the main Skybite. But he doesn't appear very often. He appeared in Cyberverse, so I guess he's back. But like, it did start a lot of stuff. Even just for retail that came after that, it's like it started new things.
Yeah.
The Train
no, wait. I mean,
Team
no,
Bullet Train is weird.
We got Dark. We got Dark Lio Convoy in Beast Wars 2, Beast Wars 2nd.
Oh, it's
right?
not the first one, but
yeah. All right. Yeah.
And Nucleon Quest Convoy was black.
Yeah.
Probably around that same time.
What about was it Beast Wars 2nd or Beast Wars Neo Galvatron? Yeah, it was Beast Wars 2nd Galvatron.
The purple, unfortunately looking one?
Yeah, the dragon drill tank.
What about him?
Got the big old butt. What about him as a Haslab?
Oh, I think because he's so unfortunate looking, they can't do that.
But they could make him less unfortunate looking.
They could make him less unfortunate.
They could redeem
looking.
him.
No, that is a good point. I mean, we have the villain from Neo and the hero from Second. Did I get that right, Anna?
Or like,
Lio
what do you
Convoy
mean we
and
have
Magnetron.
them?
As toys, mainline.
Oh, yeah.
So we would need, their opposite numbers. And we've heard that, Big Convoy is rumored for a commander eventually. But nothing about Galvatron. That's a... I think that wouldn't fly as a Haslab because the name Galvatron has such cachet as the Transformers the movie character. And I like it. I'd go for that.
Now all I can think about is how I want to play with my big convoy right now.
I pulled out my Ultra Mammoth recently. Very
That
good.
was so cool. Don't talk about Ultra Mammoth around me. Too jealous. Always wanted one since I was born.
It's one of my favorite, transforming name puns or whatever you want to call
It's
it.
so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Who else has been? We talked about animated Omega Supreme. I'd go for that. I would prefer if it was straight up animated style rather than the legacy animated style they've been doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Or at least dial back the legacy.
Yeah, I would prefer for it to go with the animated toys.
Yeah.
I know it wouldn't color match, but I'd want the lug nut head.
That's fine. Yeah, that sounds great.
As
a good
not
stretch goal
as
for
the
that.
main head, but as a as a goal, a stretch goal.
Yeah, for sure.
And it comes with the Allspark chest thing. I think that's a good stretch goal for that too.
Mm-hmm.
There's stuff for that.
It just kind of sucks. We brought up Omega Supreme animated in other episodes, and to me, I just would be underwhelmed by that. To me, that moment has come and gone. It's 10 years too late to be.
I think they need to lay some more groundwork.
Yeah.
I mean, they have been, like, if we go back to my talking about, like, hey, all this stuff they're tying in with Transformers RID, they've been doing a lot of Transformers animated lately.
But are they
They've been
doing
laying
that?
the groundwork.
Are they doing that because Omega Prime happened, or were they doing it to set up Omega Prime?
I think they're doing it
I
because
don't
they're
know.
trying to find, like easy repaints for things they're doing.
Lucas, did you have a message for me from the chat?
Oh yeah, Zaldaron says that Christian would know he's correct if he'd join us for book club.
That's a fair point.
So,
Fair point. You would have enjoyed all the Japanese cartoons we were watching.
It'd be nice to have someone to watch them with.
So, last episode, I listened to you all just the other day. Whoever was here, I don't even remember who all was here, but Paul was there, I know, because he was complaining about things. And one of the things you all ended up talking about was, Missing Link, because Missing Link comes up all the time these days, and the concept of Missing Link Unicron. What if that was the Haslab? Like, here's your Missing Link Unicron, it's a ball.
Yeah, I would do that.
Forms.
I don't think that would be a successful HasLab, but I would fund it.
right. It depends on.
I
how
think
much
that would
it
be
is.
an unsuccessful. Yeah, I think that would be a Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
I think they could just make that and put it out
Yeah.
at $400, and we would buy it.
Ooh,
I don't know.
400.
Super
That's,
Seven did
If
it,
they put it at
honestly.
400, they couldn't release it just normal.
that's 200 tops.
Okay, fine. I'm just saying that Masterpiece Optimus Prime was $400, and that sold out. So
Right, that's different though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a Takara work of art. This is a niche. You saw it one time in a picture and you wanted it as thick as your
I think if it
thumbs,
were
eh?
actually missing Link, it would have to be either Takara just does it or they make Tac Lab.
Yeah.
Or they do the first HasLab Missing Link crossover toy. The giant building that transforms from big.
Here we go.
It's so many firsts.
That'd be great.
That would be great.
Like all of a sudden, like up on the panel, just the panel stage walks Tom Hanks, transforms it.
God, that would be cool. I don't want that to be a HasLab, but I do want that to be a thing.
That would be really fun.
You know, I'm kind of surprised a third-party company hasn't just like, you know what, F, we're going to do this thing. Because like I don't know, like does
I've seen it
know
get
what your Peter
rendered.
does? It's like, did that toy actually exist? Was that like a real toy, or was that some just production thing they made?
I don't think it's a real toy.
Like it wasn't like some weird Japanese or like Chinese, made thing.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. It's just
I have
very
seen
much
it rendered. Like that company that does like the Jesus on the cross transformer thing.
Oh yeah.
Made a render of that building too. So it's like, okay, clearly it could exist. I don't think they
You
actually
get that
produce
Jesus.
toys.
Jesus on the cross exists in physical form.
Oh, well.
Get off Etsy, people print it. Sell it.
Oh, okay. That's how that works.
I mean, it exists.
It's just so bizarre.
All right.
It's really fun.
Well, I think we've probably covered all of our bases now. So, and then somehow Hasbro will find a way to completely surprise us, right?
What if it's none of these things?
Right.
I would love it if they surprised us, right? Because figuring it out beforehand is not that much fun. So I think really being, because I'm gonna be, I have several events I have to do tomorrow, so I'm gonna completely miss the reveal, and I'm gonna come back at 3:00 and look at my phone and see what it is, and I would love it if I just looked at it and you guys had just been going crazy for hours about some bizarre thing you never expected to see. And that would be cool. I would enjoy that so much more. Even if it's something I didn't want. Even if it was I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's not for Anna. But it was weird. And okay, if it was weird, it would be for me. It was fun for you all. That would be fine.
I will say the one downside of like something you didn't expect is then you have like the people who have like the hopes and expectations that it's, and I shouldn't say hopes, with the expectation that it's Metroplex and Lyle Kaiser. And you will have a segment of the fandom that's just pissed that it's not one of those two.
I don't either. So I'm cool with it being something completely random. Metroplex I'd probably do. Lyle Kaiser is going to annoy me because the Iron Factory one is quite good and kind of sort of done now. So
if it's Rise of the Beast Stratosphere, that would not be something I'd back.
Depends on the price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be one that would mess with Christian and I, because it's something we both like, but
If it were Star Saber Death Soar's price, probably.
yeah, probably. It's just
More
such
than
a
that,
fun
probably
thing.
not.
As long
Yeah,
as
more
it
than that, probably
somehow came with transforming little guys to go with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They could be Swapticons.
No.
It's a Haslab bucket of Swapticons. That's
There you
what the
go. That's what
Haslab
it
is.
is.
It's
A
the
giant
entire...
Unicron and Primus Swapticon. They're just like the size of kitchen pots.
What if it's the first crossover Haslab like G.I. Joe Transformers?
There we go. The flag
Optimus
broadside.
Prime his tank.
Oh, flag broadside would annoy me because it would be broadside.
That would be so
But it would be
cool.
the flag.
Come on. To appreciate the flag for how ridiculous it is.
I've seen one. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's pretty bananas. It's like the size of a couch.
Yeah.
That would annoy me.
Yeah, because you want it so bad. Because it would be really neat. But you'd be like, I don't like G.I. Joe for arbitrary reasons because I'm Christian. Well,
All
now that
right.
we broke Christian, we've succeeded. High five, guys.
Hopefully next week we will actually be able to coordinate a time where we can all meet and discuss what we think about what actually got revealed. So I know I'm gonna be out of town, but I'm hoping that early in the week we can get something. So we'll definitely post if we are able to get together. But
You said Tuesday, right? Let's do it.
Tuesday, yeah.
Just declare.
Sure.
Well, hopefully if we can get enough people. So.
But hey, make sure if you're watching this video, like and comment. Subscribe. Like, throw in your ideas. If you even after, if you're watching this on Saturday and the reveal has already happened, throw out some suggestions you have for the Haslab for 2026 and 2027.
And hey, that person who normally listens on Spotify but came to join the live stream, thank you. Tell us what you want.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Thanks for doing that. That's cool.
So. All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for everyone in the chat that gave their suggestions on what they think is going to be. And I guess we'll find out tomorrow. So,
11 and a half hours to go.
There you go. All right. See you guys.
Someone in TSA in Orlando has already seen it.
Right. All right.